Hi friends, it's Holly and I'm here at Kennedy's and I'm here to celebrate the final full moon of 2020 with you. It is the cold moon, and the reason being is, the moons are named for what's going on in the northern hemisphere, and right now it's pretty darn cold. So it's the cold moon. It's also called the long night's moon because we're at the darkest point in our year. So Lolly will help us brighten up our days as we fill this beautiful unicorn vase with flowers. So for this deliverable design workshop, we'll have an assortment of holiday kind of colored flowers, as well as some long-lasting evergreens. And then we'll also have a piece of oasis pre-cut. And what you'll need to do when you get your deliverable design workshop is to soak this in some water. I've pre-soaked mine, but just put it, in your sink for a couple minutes, let it fully absorb the water and get dark green, and then you'll plunk it on in. You might need to cut it, even it out. I have already done that, but just simple. And then we'll start to fill Lolly with some of our pine greens. So we have an assortment of these long-lasting evergreens, and we'll cut them down to the size we need. I have, some Douglas fir, some white pine, a little bit of, Carolina sapphire and cedar. We're just gonna have a bit of an assortment. But as many of you probably know from already taking the classes, we like to cover up our oasis. The oasis helps hold the flowers in place, and it also helps them continue to absorb water. So I'm cutting the stem, just kind of making my pieces, and I'm gonna go in around the edge and kind of just push it down in deep. You want the flower stem to go in at least an inch so that it can be secure and absorb the water. And you're just gonna kind of look at your different pieces and see, which ones you might wanna use. They're all slightly different, so you're gonna cut them in different ways. For example, this cedar, I'm gonna kind of cut it in a few different parts to place it around. And it's kind of nice to have a variety. So again, I kind of go in around the edge, sometimes cleaning off the stem a bit, but just getting it in there, popping them around, assessing our different pieces, kind of peeling off, giving myself a clean stem, cutting a little bit, turning Lolly around so that I can take a look at him from different angles and make sure that he is getting covered. Just kind of leave a little bit of space on the inside, but also, just kind of giving a nice variety, inserting and moving it around. And really, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's however you want to kind of spread out the greens. These ones are kind of pretty and they dance a little bit. They're also cedar. They come to us from Canada, so they're quite large. And then this stuff is locally grown. It's a little bit more fluffy. And this white pine, I'm kind of just cutting it in between, finding a space, and then making a little bit of bare stem. I like to kind of stick this in around the side so it can just show up. And this is the other part that I cut, and I'm still gonna use it. And I'm just gonna, peel a little bit off. If you find a little brown piece in there, it's kind of like a gray hair, it's okay. Just pluck it out and pop it on in. And just kind of look around, see your different assortments. Kind of clear that stem a little bit, kind of peel them off. That one's kind of a thicker piece. It's almost like little wings. Just kind of, clear that stem so it's easily inserted into the oasis. Wonderful. So now that I have a pretty good base, one thing to be mindful of is you do still want to leave some space in your oasis so that you can get the flower stems in there. So our selection will be some full-size carnations, some spray carnations or mini carnations. There's many smaller heads on each stem. Some cushion pomps, and then some baby's breath. So this almost looks like a little bit of snow for this cold moon. We're gonna start with our 3 largest flowers, the carnations, and we're gonna kind of separate them out almost in a triangle. So if you don't know how long you want to cut your stem, a trick that I like to use is I like to kind of measure it towards the side of Lolly. So I kind of get an estimate of, you know, where I want it to be, and then I cut. You can always cut more off, but you can't add more on. So kind of pop it in, and then space them out however you'd like. I'm gonna go kind of in a triangular form, almost just across. And then, you know, kind of see how it goes. I'm already seeing that I'm gonna wanna probably shorten one a little bit. And have a lot of fun with your design. You know, take a look, move it around, pop it in, and then kind of get an idea. Creating different heights and level is a wonderful way to create some interest in your design. And next, you know what? Next I'm actually gonna go with our cushion pomps. I'm choosing these because they're the next biggest flower, so they're gonna take up more space. And you can see that there's many different breaks on this stem, or laterals. Some of them might even be a little bit broken, but that's okay. We need them short anyway. So to do this, I just kind of cut them all off. You know, make my way around. Love it. Wonderful. And sometimes the last ones, you'll leave them on top, or, you know, you can leave that one maybe together so it has a little bit longer of a stem. So I'm kind of making a little bit of a mess. You might want to clean your own station a little bit better, but that's okay. So again, just clear your stem so that you can insert it right into the oasis. Make sure it gets down deep enough where it will soak up the water and stay put. And then pop it on in. Again, remembering to turn your design around and insert it from different angles, different heights. And if you accidentally break the stem when you insert it, like this one just kind of broke, that's okay. Give it a fresh cut and find a new hole for it. Wonderful. Perfect. And you might have more flowers than you even need. Sometimes that happens. You don't need to use them all, and you can use them in different vases around your house, or just save them for another little spot. But see how it's starting to get kind of nice and full and really pretty. Gonna put one up right by Lolly's shoulder, let it kind of bring the flowers back up. Just kind of keep turning it around and taking a look. And then moving on, we're going to pick the pretty miniature carnations. So take a look at your stem. You know, I'm just gonna kind of rip them apart. If there's some smaller, tighter ones, you can use your thumbs and just gently open up the flower head a little bit. And time and warmth will open those up too. But you know, it just kind of helps get them going. The little ones with no color, they're not gonna open. They're just cute and for texture. You can cut them off or you can leave them on. But now, doing this, I'm just gonna kind of, again, assess where I wanna put these pretty flowers, stick them in, kind of go around. And the fun thing is, if there's several of you doing this at home, your arrangements might look a little bit different than one another, which is really cool. And then I'm leaving those little buds on there just for some interest and for some texture. And as I look around, you know, I see different areas that could use some more flowers. And I just kind of pop them in there. So this lolly is getting pretty full, but that's okay. That's how we like it for a full moon, you know? Kind of making my way around, putting different color out and about. Very nice. Just have fun with it. Let yourself kind of see where you think you might want to put it, and then go there. Okay, so as they're kind of all together, our final flower for this arrangement is going to be the baby's breath. Now you're not going to have a big stem like this. I'm probably going to break it down a little bit. You're going to want to space it out. So take a look. Again, I'm going to kind of cut it, maybe leave some of it together, and then it's a strong stem, but it is kind of thin. So gently feed it in there and kind of find some places to make it look like it's snowing. And just kind of feed it in. Perfect. Oh, I love it. That's such a fun finishing touch. Lolly likes it too, I can tell. So popping that in, and then one more little bit. It's looking like a full design. Fun festive flowers. Popping it in there. Good deal. And one more little spot. Super cute. Good deal. So there you have it. We have our full cold moon, Lolly the unicorn, and I hope you have so much fun designing it. Remember to add water to it once you're done, so that the vase has some water for the oasis to absorb. And happy full cold moon.